Well, it's August 9th, 2026. All right. A lot of people that I do readings for and stuff like that, especially if it's a long one, because I usually can only go ahead 5 years. But this one is a little different because I had the help of another angel. Okay, so we're back around 2014, and I met this native, original Canadian, and she's a female dancer. Uh, she meets me. She's about 24 years old or 23. She wants a reading. So an angel comes as I'm doing the reading and says, "Listen, you got to help this young lady." And as I'm doing the reading, I'm talking to the angel in my mind. And the angel says, she's had a miscarriage and an abortion all within the last 3 years. She doesn't know who the fathers were of these indications of her children, of the child that was inside of her. But she's going to have a third, there's going to be a third encounter where she's going to get pregnant again. And you have to help her keep the baby because the first one was a miscarriage. The second one was an abortion. And we want this baby to live. And we're going to give you the help you need to understand her and to help her because I know not too many things about natives or aboriginals and stuff like that. So I have to learn. And so I go, okay. So I do the reading. She thinks it's amazing. So she's going to be pregnant in about a year. And I got to help her keep this child. So I got to learn some things about these people, like natives, their arts, their religious, or whatever beliefs they have, all that kind of stuff. So I'm driving in the city that I'm in the main street. I get a message to drive into a flea market. And there's a flea market about 2 seconds away from where I'm headed straight, and I see the flea market. So I turn in. Amazingly, there's parking right in the front because I've been to flea markets and I know how bad the parking is. But the angel or whatever this thing is tells me to go in the front door. There's a small fee you have to pay for these places, and then walk all the way to the end, make a left, and continue to walk till you see a circle, a big circle with a whole bunch of stuff in it. It's all kind of intertwined and stuff. And there'll be a native person there, a female, and you'll stop there and you'll want to buy one of those circly things. I don't know what these circly things are at the time. I do as the angel said. I go all the way down there and I see the native young lady with this big circle thing over her booth. And I said, I got to buy one of those. She was a dream catcher? I said, yeah. Well, realistically, I know I should know about dream catchers because I'm a psychic and all that. But it wasn't in my forte. It's not something that I was working on or studying or anything. So she starts to talk to me and she goes, what are you? And I says, well, my parents are Italian. They were born in Italy. I was born here. And she started telling me her heritage. She's from the reserve. Her husband is a medicine man. She's one of those ladies that go to your house. Let's say you're going to have a baby and you don't want to go to the hospital. So you go see her and she helps you have the baby. So now I understand exactly why I'm here because I'm supposed to help this other native girl make sure she keeps her baby. Meanwhile, she's not even pregnant yet. So I'm telling this lady all these things that are happening as I'm coming in, and I give her a demonstration of a reading, and she's amazed by it. And she wants me to meet her husband as well. And I spend about, I don't know, $100 on all kinds of little knickknacks that are there. Perhaps I can hold one of them and find out more information about the natives or whatever. I'm going to do the best I can to find out more information so I can help this young lady. So as it goes on, I do meet her husband of the girl that has the shop. And that's about a month or two passes, and they start getting me to do readings on a whole bunch of Aboriginal natives or whatever you want to call them. And I had to go to the reserve to do that as well. And I'm trying to help this girl make sure she keeps the baby. This is why the attention. This is what the angel told me I got to do. I get back from all this running around that I'm doing and meeting the girl that's going to be pregnant and have the baby. Because I do succeed at this, but it's a venture. So I give her the reading. She wants me to read all of her family too. So I'm busy doing this, but now she believes. But now I got to tell her a little bit of the bad news because it's not always good. She's got a guy she's dating. He's not a native. I actually don't know what he is because I never get to meet him actually. So she asked me if this relationship is going to last. I said that is the father of the baby who you're with now because you're actually pregnant now. As I was talking to her, and maybe I usually don't give readings right away to people unless it's an emergency where this situation where a baby has to happen. So I gave her another reading in less than 2 months or 3 months of knowing her, and I saw it, and she's pregnant, and she goes, "That is the father, the person you're with," and she goes, "Good, because I really like him." And then I had to tell her they're not going to be together, but you still have to have this baby. And so she's only 2 months pregnant. She checked and she is pregnant and all that. So she is, and she's gonna have a baby girl. And I'm trying to tell her. She says, "No, I'm not gonna keep it because the relationships did start to go sour." And I says, "No, you got to keep it." So this is where this dream catcher or whatever came in handy. Because I have a lucid dream, I can astroplane. Oh my God, what I can do with my dreams is ridiculous. But this is different. So the dream reader, I put it close to my bed, go to bed, and I start dreaming like 5,000 years in Canada back, and I'm dreaming about other people's past lives. But as I was dreaming, I started to notice a pattern of where I was going. It was all the heritage of this young lady having the baby. So I knew that I was in the right path in these dreams. So I came all the way to the forward from there at the very back, about 5,000 years, to the present inside this girl's dreams. And then the next day she tells me, she goes, "Birdie, I was dreaming about you." And I go, "Yeah, I went in your dreams. I told you I can do all these things. And you told me I have to have the baby." So what I didn't know about Aboriginals at the time is when they have an elusive dream or any type of dream that they can recognize and remember and have a conscious person in that dream, they're going to listen to it. They're going to do it. So that's the help I got. And then I told her, I said, "Listen, you will get out of this business." She goes, "Well, what am I going to do?" I says, "There's lots of plans out there for pregnant women. You don't get out till you're a little bit bigger. I am sorry. And you're starting to, I'm helping you say, we'll save you some money because she was so gorgeous and she could make lots of money, but she was spending it frivolously, like stupid stuff. So I said, "Listen, we got about 5 months to save you some money." And we did so. Pretty chunk. But I said, still get all the assistance you can as well. And she got out of the business. She had the baby. And she goes, "I'm going to move to a smaller town so that it's cheaper for me to live." I said, "That's a good idea." And she goes, "I won't be seeing you anymore." I said, "That'll be fine as long as you're good. But a decade from now, which was around 2016, you will call me. Your life will be good. You'll have no financial difficulties. You'll be married and on your second child. And you will call me." And she goes, "You'll change your number. In this business, everybody changes their number." I said, "I will not change my number. I've had this number for 40 years or 30, whatever." Anyway, she just called me about 3 weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. I'm not 100% sure. And I thought about it and I said, this is a success story because she just had a baby boy. She says, "Your number is good." She's living in a different city. I'm not going to say. And she's really happy. She's married to a professional person who has a business, and they're doing very, very well. And I did meet the little girl. She's about, well, figure 10, 11 at the most. And she's really happy too. And she said she's told them about me and that I predicted everything that was going to happen. I just like a good story too, and I like a good happy ending. As far as I know, that's good. And then she asked me if she can contact me later in life. And I said, yeah, just feel free to call. I can do this over the phone. That's it. That's my story. Birdie signing out.